Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. I'm your host, Shon Black. Dawn and Matt. Dawn and Matt. That's me. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank you for watching. Shout out to the Black Crow for this t-shirt. And I want to thank everybody that's in here. We got a nice show for you today. Everybody wants to know about Savannah Guthrie's mother, who is she might have been kidnapped. We want to talk about that. And also, the latest talk of the town is Epstein files. People want to know about the Epstein files. They want to know what's in the Epstein files. Shon Black doesn't have an opinion on the Epstein files, but if they're true, they're gross. Okay? That's as far as I go with Epstein and all of that stuff. If it's true, it's disgusting. Also, too, shout out to the homie Chubby. That's my homie. I just opened up my Facebook and saw that she was on there. A picture of us together in the car. So shout out to the homie Chubby. Shout out to everybody that's out there listening. And without further ado, let's jump into it. What I want to know from you guys out there, what do you guys think, if you guys have been following this whole Savannah Guthrie's mother, who's 80-something years old, she was abducted. Well, they think she might have been abducted from her home. The last people to see her alive were her daughter and her daughter's husband. And, I don't know if people know. Well, let's back up. They don't know who the suspect is. They don't know who they got going on. They don't know anything. All they know is that she's missing. Apparently, they found there was spatter. There was spatter at the scene. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that, but I mean, I don't know. What do you say about that? Like, here's a woman who is famous, was on TV, whose mother, they go out with the brother-in-law, and then all of a sudden they are no longer, they're missing from their home. I mean, what do you say to that? I don't know what you say to that. And everybody's like, I hope that you find her. Now, my initial thought is that they live in Arizona. They're close to the border. They had a lot of run-ins in like Texas and all that with people crossing over. Who knows? They might have crossed over and in the neighborhood, and next thing you know, they hit her in the head or something like that, and she could be somewhere in the desert, unalived. But you don't want to think like that, because that's kind of morbid, right? You don't want to think, oh man, this person could be like unalive. What up? What up? Dez is in the building. Thanks, Dez. So I want to understand, like, Dez, give us your thoughts on Savannah Guthrie's mom being missing. I don't know. It's either the brother-in-law, or it is somebody like an illegal. Or the cartel. Think about something. It could be the cartel. You never know. I had a theory. What if it was... Oh, you haven't? Oh, so her mom came up missing. They dropped her off, I guess Saturday, at the house like around 9:30 in the evening, and she didn't show up for church in the morning, and then by the afternoon they were like, listen, this isn't like her. She, basically they went and they looked for her at the house. She wasn't there at the house. They found they possibly found blood at the front door, and she like disappeared without a trace. She doesn't have any of her medications. She doesn't have anything. She's just missing. And so the brother-in-law, the police came out and said, they don't have a suspect. Um, Everybody's saying it's the brother-in-law. I'm like, well, what about if it's not the brother-in-law? What about if it's like the cartel or somebody like that? You know, it could be a neighbor. Maybe she had beef. Also, from what I understand now, I don't watch the channel that she's on, Savannah Guthrie. But I don't watch her. I think she's on what, Today Show or NBC, CBS, one of those things. She's in the morning. She does the morning stuff. I know she was supposed to do the Olympics, the opening ceremony at the Olympics. I think she did the joint for Christmas, the 34th Street, when they come down and do the things, the Macy's Day Parade. That's what it is. They do the Macy's. I think she hosted that. But other than that, I mean, I don't really watch her show, but apparently her mom is a frequent person on the show. Everybody loves her. Mom is like 80 years old. And so when do you not have your parental units on TV? Like, I've had my parents on the podcast before. I'm not famous. You know what I mean? I'm not famous, but at a certain point, when do you protect your family from being on it? That's to say, if it's a crazed fan. She had a stalker. What up? Little Chuck is in the building. Shout out to Little Chuck. We're talking about Savannah Guthrie and her mom, and her mom being missing. And what part does fame play into the equation? Is it because her mom was on TV? She got a stalker. Dude couldn't get to Savannah. Does Savannah have those type of stalkers that are, you just don't know. I don't know. And so for me, I'm like, well, I just don't know. I'm at a loss because I don't know what to say about it. I know Nancy Grace, she's got her nose in everything. What up? The Flyers Puerto Rican is in the building. She's over there on the tube today. She said, "What if the brother-in-law hated her? That's true. Who knows?" I'm. Here's the part that is crazy, right? About that whole thing. So the brother-in-law, so the brother-in-law drops her off. She doesn't show up at church. She doesn't do anything. Now, usually the family would come out. We're looking for this person. If you've seen her, they got the APB out. They got people camping in the neighborhood. They got people looking through the desert. They got all this stuff going on. But from what I understand, they don't have none of that happening. None of that's going on right now. They said that there's possibility that there's a ransom note. Said, I don't know who she is, but I seen a post saying something about her daughter-in-law having something to do with it, maybe. I read it along. Yeah, no, it could have been. So that's where I was getting at. So people are speculating that there's a ransom note because nobody, like, you haven't seen anything out there really, because usually when there's a high profile stuff like that, the family comes out and says, oh, we just wanted to come home safe. We need her to come home safe. It's been 4 days apparently. This happened, I think, over the weekend. So we're traveling into Thursday. We're going into a whole nother weekend. And there's nothing popping. It's nothing. So I don't know. Is the, is there a ransom? Is she being held hostage? Or do they have a ransom note that we don't know about that they haven't released to the public? Because we don't understand why the Shon Black Podcast doesn't understand why the family hasn't come to the podium and say, this is her. We need her to come home. How Savannah hasn't come back. Like, she's a personality in the media. If anybody doesn't know who she is, I think she's one of the hosts of the Today Show. I think that's where she's at. Okay. Either way, she is a media personality that's been around for forever. Okay. Her mom apparently has been on the show. You're trying to tell me she doesn't go out and reach out to the millions of people that have seen her mother on the TV and say, hey, my mom is missing. If you have any information, call this number. We need all the tips. Zero. Zip. And what they're saying about that is that points to there's some sort of a ransom note. Oh, the fly Puerto Rican says they got Liam Neeson on the I have a certain set of skills. He'll find her. You get Liam Neeson on there, he'll find her. He found his daughter. You remember his daughter? You got to find her. No, something isn't right about that. Something's not right about that. Like, we gotta look in it. And here's the other part that I didn't mention is that now she's a left-wing journalist, so she's not going to be out there talking about Trump and whatnot. She's not going to be doing any of that in a favorable manner. A lot of people went missing. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, ain't you know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't getting the Trump treatment. Okay? Trump calls her on the phone, which then brings me to my other theory, which is, okay, if Trump calls her on the phone, what if, and this is just a what if, I don't know, I'm speculating, people, but what if it has to do with the whole Maduro joint? Like, somebody takes her hostage because her mom is a high profile person on TV. It says, hey, listen, plays into the ransom note. We need you to release Maduro, because if you don't release him, she's meatloaf. Now that's a good question. I don't know. So we're going to talk about that a little later. We're going to talk about Epstein a little later, but I don't know much about the Epstein files. From what I heard, there's a lot of people that came in, but like, you never know. She could have been a part of that. You never know. Not the mother, but the daughter, right? The daughter could have been part of this whole Epstein thing. I don't know. I mean, is she that? I mean, but she's popular enough where, like, how many people it'd be interesting to see what their demo is, and that's their numbers are for the day. Like, what are they, how many people do they reach? Just like, you have the analytics here for YouTube and Facebook when you do the streaming. It's the same thing for news personalities too. They have a daytime demo, a nighttime demo, a midday demo. I wonder how many millions or they might not be doing millions on a daily. Like some of them shows don't even break like 200,000-300,000, which for like a daytime or a nighttime show is terrible. Where you got people like Gutfeld that are out on Fox that are doing like 2, 3, 4 million at a time. So Bill Gates was sorry he was there. Oh, Bill Gates. Yeah, I just seen a joint where Bill Gates said he was. They said he was there. They were all there. And I'm gonna transition into that. They was all there. Every there. They was all there. All of them dudes was there, bro. From what I understand, I heard that that Fiesta video that Jay-Z did, I heard that was shot on his on Epstein's island. R. Kelly was there. Like, son, they was all there. Elon was there. Like, son, they all were there. Listen, bro. People gotta understand that they was all in the mix. Clinton was there, definitely. Clinton, he's a pervert. You know what I mean? Jay-Z, they talking about he was dismantling his social media and flying and getting out of the country. I wouldn't doubt it. Diddy was there. And people are like, "Oh, Trump was mentioned in the files." Okay, but you think that you think that he would have put himself in that kind of danger? He wouldn't have just dropped those files if he knew that he was all the way in it. They might have mentioned him in there, but I don't think that he was in it. Not like Pusha T was there. I didn't even know Pusha T was famous enough to be on the island. But then you got to remember, and this is something that I started noticing after I stopped listening to music like that. And then you go back and you look at certain videos, like you might see a video from back in the day, and you like, is that? And there have been people in videos that you had no idea who they were at the time, but they were in that industry life and they were in there in videos before you even knew that they were famous. Before they were famous, they were in these videos. So Epstein had a lot of money, and nobody still doesn't know how he was making it. They don't know what he did. Epstein, there's a lot of speculation that Epstein was a CIA plant. There's speculation that he was part of the Mossad. That he was a double agent. That he was there to get dirt on political people, and then so on and so forth. They unalived him in that jail video. There's pieces of the video missing. They did the thing with him. All of that stuff, right? And I think part of it is true and part of it isn't true. I think parts that are true are Epstein had the goods on a lot of people. It reminds me of that show that The Blacklist, right? Remember, if you guys are a fan of The Blacklist, remember in The Blacklist, Raymond Reddington had the fulcrum. The fulcrum had the list of all of the people that was doing all of the stuff that they had no business doing, right? Gotta get the fulcrum. He had the fulcrum. And they needed to hold it because they confiscated that land. Listen, Ghislaine Maxwell didn't do nothing that nobody else wasn't out there doing. If you remember, Jay-Z was talking about he had a young chick. You remember all of them had these young girls. It was popular back in those days to have the young chicks around. You don't think that that's what was going on? You are sadly mistaken, especially in the rap community. And everybody who was listening to music back then, go back and listen to Jay-Z Volume 3, the one with him and Juvenile. And listen to the song. And he talk about he got a young chick, forget it, he's the Don. R. Kelly got caught up with that whole video. You don't think that's been going on? Better call John Wick. That's what I'm saying. But then you gotta look that a lot of these female, listen, you got a 14-year-old flying on Epstein's jet. Where were your parents at? How the heck did you let your 14-year-old go with some strange people out somewhere? Like, what was that about? My daughter's 15. She ain't going on no plane with no strange people. Like, what the heck are we talking right now? Like, so, okay, I get it. Oh, we didn't know. Yes, you did. The money blinded you. The money was the main factor. Like in the R. Kelly joint. They knew what was going on. They knew, son, you gave your daughters over. Like let's keep it a buck. The money called. That's what happened. The money, there was nothing popping until the money, and when the money dried out, then all of a sudden now it's a problem. They were still getting paid. You'd have never heard nothing about none of that. I don't care what nobody says. Same with these girls. They said, Shon, you shaming the victim. Nah, so I'm not shaming the victim. I'm keeping it a buck. You notice how justice always comes with a dollar sign? You notice how justice always comes with a number? Oh, we need justice for this person. We need justice because she didn't know what she was doing. And in the name of justice, in the name of so-called justice, you know what? I think $4 million is going to be the number that's going to make her back right. She's going to be whole again. I don't care what nobody said. I'm not victim shaming or blaming. I'm just telling you what it is. Everybody knows within the sound of my voice, and those who might watch later, you know that's exactly what it is. Just keep it a buck. Keep it a stack. Stop it. Let's keep it a buck. We already know that that's what it is. That's right. After, and this is all after he passed away, right? All of a sudden now, people are like, oh well, they were talking about it. She was a victim. Nobody forced them. There are people. There's a girl. Her name is Allie something, and she talks about how she was held hostage, and all of these famous people were coming in here, and they were talking about how they were taking limbs off of people and all this, and these sick people that was going on in the industry. A good video that people should watch is that dude Richie the Barber. He's like a clown, he looks like a clown. He got a tattoos and all that. He's a famous, I think he's either like a real famous barber, like he be cutting hair. And he talks extensively about what happens at these industry parties. You got son, all the evidence is there, right? It's not just Epstein. They're just focused on it because this has to do with Trump. They trying to link Trump to this joint. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? This is the reason why they're doing it. You go back and you listen to these dudes that be been telling people for years about what's happening at these parties. You got that chick Allie out there who's talking about what happened to her. Nobody's listening to that chick. She's been interviewed by like a whole bunch of people, son. Nobody talking about that. Epstein, this chick talking about how there was tunnels under the schools and they be taking kids underneath the schools and the places at the airport and how they go in there and the elites be there. But Epstein is a factor? Wait, you remember, let's go back. Remember the joint? What was the joint with the, remember they had the names was it Wayfair? They had the names of, and they were naming furniture after all of those kids that were missing. And people were like, wait a minute, hold up. You got these kids that's missing and you naming furniture after them, and you could go online and order it, and people was like, yo, son, this joint is about how they was ordering kids on Wayfair. And but son, we talking Epstein right now? How many of those same people is ordering from Wayfair? Knock it off. Knock it off. Look, listen. Nobody should be trafficked. People shouldn't be unalived. You definitely shouldn't be messing with kids. At all. Period. That said, Wayfair had the kids. Remember? They named the furniture after the kids. People laughed at Pizzagate. Remember when they were talking about, this is the joint, the sign. We got the joint, we got these joints, these sickos out there called Mambla. Man Boy Love. It's an organization. People ain't up in arms. People should be up in arms trying to figure out who are these people that want to have relations with young boys. But guess what? We're talking about Epstein. You see? They pulled the wool over your eyes. That's right. You remember? I don't care what nobody said. They could say, oh, well, that wasn't true. Why did you change the names then? You think it was a coinky dink? Huh? You think people had a coinky dink that the same furniture that you was naming was the same as the kids that was missing in these posters, and people knew what was going on? Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. Nothing. Nobody said nothing. Huh? Huh? That was real talk. That was real stuff that was happening. Nobody's saying nothing but something, but Epstein is, well, because it's politicians. But the people that you want really catch isn't the politicians, homie. It's the dudes that really run the country. The dudes with the real bread. The politicians are only the middle people because they're the ones who enact policies on behalf of the people that's really running the country. See, the problem is people don't understand where the bread is actually buttered. That's what's really going on. You don't understand. You think you do, but you don't understand. You don't understand where the bread is really buttered. Doesn't matter about right. Doesn't matter about left. Doesn't matter about up and down and all that. Doesn't matter. Everything is about a dollar amount. And these people got the dollars, and that's what they do. They slap on the dollars, and they say, you know what? Check this out. You know we running this joint, but you can't tell because I know you was there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pass this bill. It's going to make us easier. You're going to build these things. It's going to make us easier for us to do what we need to do. And you're going to make that happen, dog. What up, Mike? See, Epstein is just a small sliver of the whole pie. But we forgot about all of the extra stuff that was going on with that. We forgot about Wayfair. We forgot about Pizzagate. We forgot about the Chick Alley and all the hundreds of other people that came out talking about how all of these sick celebrities were doing all this. We forgot about the stories. See, and it's not just one story or two here. It's the whole thing, and you take the little bits of information and you plug it in like a puzzle piece. And when you plug it, son, you got Alex Jones been talking about Bohemian Grove, right? Where all of these people go over there and they do all these rituals. You talk about all of these secret societies and all of these, and most of these sick people are a part of these things. The Jack the Ripper, was his name Jack the Ripper back in the 1800s, that was going around unaliving the prostitutes? Come to find out, he was part of the aristocracy. Listen, when you have a group called Mambla, you don't believe me? Go look it up, get into your Google and type in Mambla. What is Mambla? They'll tell you. The organization that touts man boy love. What are we doing? You have, who do you think the sickos are that are pushing these books that go into your schools that depict kids having encounters with grown men at their house, in the pool house? The heck are you talking about? These kids, these people are having sexually suggestive material aimed at children. And we're talking Epstein. What? Who? You're never going, Epstein is never going anyplace. Okay? That, I don't care what you uncover, it's never going to stop the root of the problem. People not willing to take the steps necessary. The country as a whole, all over the world, you're not going to take steps necessary. You have countries where people, they're able to date 12-year-olds, have kids with 12 years. Like, so what are you talking about? It's a worldwide problem, and we're not doing nothing about it. That's right. There it is, little Chuck. Let me get into some of these comments and all of these Afghans and that were dancing with boys. But listen, I heard a story. Speaking of that, I heard a story how during the time when the U.S. government was out there doing whatever in those places, right? That a lot of these people had to go into, in the Afghan, and part of it was you would go in there and sit with these people, these leaders and stuff like that, and you would have to participate in these parties that they had because you were trying to curry this favor. And some of this stuff was like they was with like young kids. And there's a lot of dudes that their brains were messed up behind that. And there was some of them dudes that couldn't turn it off. And they come back here and they continue the same joint. Look at all of these people, and not just them. And I'm not trying to disparage service members or anything like that, because you have a tough job. And even if, right is right and wrong is wrong, don't get me wrong. But there are people that'll do anything for the country, right? Then you have other people, on the other hand, that are getting caught with all this child pornography. Oh, you can't even say it. Pornography. You got to say corn. You can't even say the word. See, there's another thing. The censorship. So now they'll flag this account if I say corn, the other word, but we can't really say that because of they'll censor it. Or look at Roblox. Like, that's another thing. We're talking Epstein. But why are we not talking about Roblox and how Roblox doesn't want to stop the predators on their profile, and all the people that were exposing the predators on Roblox, suddenly kicked them off and they want them prosecuted. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. Son, it is a large problem with people who have real money, and you're never going to stop the symptom. You're never going to stop the problem if you don't cut down the symptom, and you don't stick it where it's at. The people don't rise up and say, look, we don't care about Epstein. We care about the dudes on Roblox that's letting pedophiles go in. We going after them and destroy Roblox. My kid ain't playing Roblox. I'm taking that off. We're not their kids. If you did that, boom, you shut down Roblox. Now they're forced to do something because they want your dollars. Wayfair. We're not, because you were in there and we don't like what was going on. That whole joint was sus. We not messing with Wayfair. Shut that joint down. It's over. See, people not gonna do that, bro. So why are we talking Epstein? It's interesting, but why are we talking Epstein for real? He said his ex-program was on the AI showcase. He's just one of the two. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, show kids nude. Look, that's crazy. People gonna stop using Gronk? Nope. People gonna still buy Teslas? Yep. Cybertrucks are cool. Not gonna stop buying Teslas. See, the real power is economics. You wanna stop people from doing something? Economics. Yeah. Oh, well, that can't, boycotts never work. Oh, yes, they do. You don't have to boycott. You just say, we're never buying that again. We don't care what it is. You blackballed. You're never going to make money again. Your name associated. We find out you're associated with something, it's over. What's up, Brenda? My girl Brenda's in the building. I love Brenda. Brenda's cool. Man, Brenda's one of the coolest people I know. It doesn't matter. You have to hit these people in their pockets. Point blank, period. Because that's where they live. They live by the bread. They unalive by the bread. Point blank. It's what it is. You have to stop them. If you don't stop them, it's not going to stop. Sorry, it's just not. Epstein is this much compared to the whole slice, the whole pot. He's not even 0.1% of what's really going on. And nobody cares. None of the people care. Your movie personalities, they don't care. They talking about stuff that you don't care about. Oh, the agents, they don't want ICE. Nobody should be unalived by anybody. It shouldn't be, and we already know. Sorry for those of you that are police officers. I love you, but guess what? Some of your people is out of pocket. Okay? Let's just get that off the table. However, if you're going over there to go get people who are maybe some sort of pedophile who does something with children, that might be the R word, they've committed the R word against somebody, guess what? You're an idiot from trying to protect people like that. But that's what you got, because everything is either I'm on this side and you're on that side and I don't like you. Instead of coming together and say, you know what, son? I don't really like Trump. But for this cause, we gonna band together because we don't like pedos. They won't do that. On the other hand, you know what? I don't really like the left wing. I think the left wing is crazy. But we have more in common against pedos, so we're going to band together for that. Because our kids need to be safe. No, they won't do it. Because there's no glory in that. There's no money in that. There's no fame in that. There's no notoriety in that. You gotta understand that people want to be famous. They want to live where these pedos live. They want to go where these pedos go. You have the Grammys. Nobody should be watching that. Look at the dude, Kevin Spacey. They said he was trying to touch this dude. Look at Orlando Brown. He been telling you about what they did to him. Look at Corey Haim. Look at all of those child stars. All of those people said the same exact thing. Nobody can tell the same lie. I'm sorry, it just can't happen. They said these dudes was getting on all the time. And guess what? People be turning on the screen. Girl, my stuff is on. Did you see what she was wearing? He looked so good. And those be the same people out there behind the scenes in them tunnels with them kids. It's the truth. Sorry if you don't like it. Sorry. This is what it is. Let's stop it. Let's knock it off. Let's say what's real. The real thing is that our society only reacts to stuff because it's political. Nobody says what the real is. These people have been doing this forever. You ask the dude Orlando Brown, he'll tell you. All them dudes from what's that group that B2K or whatever that was, all of them dudes, they messed up. They messed up because these dudes was assaulted as children. Look at Amanda Bynes. She crazy now because she was assaulted as a child. All of those dudes, all the Disney Channel people, son, they was getting assaulted as children, and nobody said nothing. And when they came out and said, yo, this has been going on to me, everybody did like this. Facts. It's facts. Nobody, bro. Nobody. But we talking about Epstein. Come on. I'm in my bag today. Hit the like button. I'm in the bag. Word is born. Get the likes up. I'm in the bag. It's true. Absolutely true. Nobody cared. But today, 2026, what's today's date? Today's what, the 5th or the 4th of February? Everybody talking about Epstein. Share the pod. I'm in the bag. Because nobody cares about kids. They don't care. They care about being on socials, trying to align themselves with people who they like because they chasing the celebrity, and that same person that you like and that you talk about are the same ones who be out there with the this, that. Look at, they talking about this dude Jay-Z was one of the people with what's my man, the one that the movie guy, the one the one that went to the one that they put in jail. What's his name? Put his name in the chat. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's that guy's name? The one that they said had the casting couch. And he was doing all that. He was assaulting women and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they want the clout, bro. And this dude, they said Jay was all a part of that. But we already knew this kind of stuff was going on with him. Sorry. If you go back and you look, you listen, it's what they all said. Not Dame Dash. It was he's not Epstein. What's his name? He's the famous movie producer. He went to the jail because they said he had the casting couch and he was making women do all kinds of stuff. And Jay and them was with him and Pusha T. Come on. And he's Epstein, but what you thought that wasn't going to happen? This is the same thing. This is what they say Diddy was doing. They say Diddy, the stories about Diddy, talking about they would drug people and take their cheeks. This is what they were saying. You trying to tell me that they weren't going to do that with children? People have to really sit back and understand what is really happening when it comes to Harvey. That's his name. There he is. They was down with Son. They was down with Weinstein. Come on, they was down with Son. They said he was R-ing people all day. All of these people allegedly. That's what you got to say. You got to say the word allegedly. But we already know what's up because he went to the camp. What you talking about? All of them. Everybody knew. Oprah, that was her man. So what are you talking about? But when the story get too big, then they got back off of you like, whoa, what's up? You think the industry parties? What you think happens in the industry, bro? You think that they don't be drugging you, taking your cheeks and all that? You don't think they don't be doing that to you? You don't think they don't be doing that to kids? Son, ask all them child stars from the 80s, bro. That's all they talk about. These dudes is messed up on drugs because they can't handle the stuff that happened to them. A lot of them. What's the guy? The one that what's the guy's name that they just said he's all messed up on the drugs. He was a child star. Son, all of these people are saying the same things. That when I was a kid, this is what happened to me on this show. This is what happened to me. But remember, they got the producer that they just, like 2 years ago, there was another producer. He just turned himself in or something about all the stuff he was doing. He was working on some of the most famous child shows. You think that's not what they were doing? We talking about Epstein. I don't know. I knew I was going to rant rave today. I knew it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rant rave. It's what Black does. He just gets it in the bag. Black is in the bag. I get in the bag. Share it. This is what I'm talking about. I'm in my bag today. I don't know. You know, here at the Shon Black Podcast, we try to be apolitical. Okay. We don't want to be right. We don't want to be left. We don't want none of that. We don't want to be center because we don't want to. We're nothing. What we gonna do is we're gonna tell the truth though. The truth is what the truth is. I don't care what political affiliation you're with. I don't care who your favorite stars are. I don't care what rap group you listening to. There's a chance that someone they know that they hang out with is a part of that nonsense. It's a fact. And you have to ask yourself, all right, what are you going to do about it if it means so much to you? A lot of people, it don't mean nothing to them because people could hear this, think on it, and then continue with their regular scheduled programming. Still turn on the pedophile, Kevin Spacey. Still going to put on these people. You're going to still do it. The kid stars, they're going to still do what they got to do with them. They're going to still be in the underground tunnels. Still going to do. Still going to be out there in all these different countries. Even, here's another thing. The dudes be flying over there to those foreign countries like Malaysia and Thailand and all that. And they be out there doing it to those kids. The dudes that got the money, they fly out there and they have relations with these young kids because it's legal in those countries. It's legal to do that. Natalie Holloway, they talking about, Natalie Holloway, Joran Vandersloot unalived her. I don't believe that at all. I believe she was sold into some kind of a slavery. There's no signs of struggle, no blood, no physical evidence, nothing. Oh, she conveniently threw her out to sea. Get the heck out of here. Y'all gotta stop. Oh, the sharks ate her. The sharks ate her up. Stop it. Just stop it. The tide goes in and the tide goes out. Something would have been found. That chick went into some sort of a slavery. It's what they do in those kind of countries. Look at what happened to the lady, the lady who they left their kid inside the hotel room and went out and they came back, she was gone. You don't think that? You think, that little girl, son, she's in some kind of slavery. That's what it is. Sorry. Let's call it what it is now. Let's stop the nonsense. I'm off the horse. Sorry, I'm off the horse. But I just wanted to show you, and I don't mean to go this long, but I just wanted to show you guys that, come on, man. When you go back and you look at the different stories, things that you've heard over the years, they all point to the same thing. Don't care if old school, back in the day, all of it points in the same direction. That you have these, and people say it's the elites. No, it's people who come up and they get money and they go to these places and these parties and they experience the weird stuff. But guess what? Some parts of them like it. And they continue and they continue and they continue and they become deviants. That's what happens. Sorry, it's what it is. Your favorite star is a deviant. They get into deviant behavior. Politicians, same difference. They do the same stuff. And so we really got that stuff. Epstein files are interesting, but let's not forget that there are people out there and kids out there that are being trafficked daily outside of whatever this happening in the Epstein files. They are daily out there doing it. That's right. That's right. They're out there daily. All right, man. I'm out of here. Shon Black, Mac. You know we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday TV Fridays. Bring your movies. We'll be talking about that. I appreciate everybody that came in. It was good to see Brenda. That's my girl. Shout out to Brenda. Shout out to everybody that came in. The Fly Puerto Rican was on all. She loves to live in the comments. Little Chuck, my son, I love him to death. You know what I'm saying? Dez was in the building, and all of those guys that were popping in and out. Shout out to you guys. The general. Oh dang! I didn't even see you, General. How did your joint go? I'm gonna call you. Uh, all of yous out there, I want to thank everybody that was in the building. Peace and love, man, and really take that joint seriously. Don't believe anything I say. Go back and research it. You know what I'm saying? Go out, research it. Go look at the Wayfair joint, what they were saying about it. Go look at the Pizzagate. Go look at that chick Allie something. I forget her name. Look at Weinstein and all these people. What the Richie the Barber. Go look at his videos. And what he was talking about industry parties and put the puzzle pieces together and see if it all measures up. All right? I'm out of here. We out here Friday, TV Fridays. We're gonna be talking about favorite shows.